Just so much to get to today. Remind me of this Memorial Day week when I'm pulling teeth. I'm Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Jimmy Fallon reminds us here in New York City, it was just announced that some subway stations are offering COVID vaccines. Yeah, first they sterilize your arm with a $2 bottle of vodka and a paper bag that was left in the seat. Then they hold the shot near your arm and a parkour dancer kicks it in. Kimmel. New Yorkers will be able to get the vaccine at subway and train stations. Sounds sterile. Kimmel, that's just what the subway needed. More random Band-Aids and needles on the ground. Gordon, I can't think of a better place to experience the side effects of the vaccine than the bathroom of the Times Square Olive Garden. Kimmel, Mayor de Blasio of New York City announced a list of incentives to get people vaccinated, including free food, free tickets to events, and the opportunity for one lucky recipient of the vaccine to be the starting quarterback for the New York Jets, Stephen Colbert, because if there's one thing everybody thinks in the subway, it's, I wish I could have a medical procedure down here. Colbert, there won't be a need for a follow-up appointment because officials will use the Johnson & Johnson vaccine at the stations. Yeah, sure they say that, but halfway through they'll switch to Moderna for no reason, then you'll have to get off at 14th Street to wait for another shot. That's a New York City style joke there for you. Hey, late night's pretty good tonight. Chris Rock is on with Fallon at 11:30. Dion Cole is on with Conan. That's on TBS at 11 Eastern. Tig Notaro on with Stephen Colbert. And Sam Jay is on with Seth Meyers at 12:30. Not bad. Did you watch Saturday Night Live? I did. Mac backer Keegan Michael Key was the host. Gothamist did a recap of it. They wrote, there's an elastic quality to the structure of SNL. Sketches bomb all the time. Hosts turn out to be dreadful at reading cue cards. Audiences sometimes just don't get what's going on. But the show barrels ahead every week, churning out new premises, new recurring characters, and new stars in the making. Sometimes everything can go wrong with the episode. They did not like last week's Elon Musk show, but a week later, everyone gets start fresh with new material. And with the right host or the right inspiration, everything can click into place. Gothamist said Keegan Michael Key was the perfect antidote to last week's comedy chasm, where Musk was stilted, painfully self-involved, and awkwardly low energy. Key was the ideal high-octane performer, throwing himself into every silly and absurd premise SNL could throw at him. The episode had a couple of dud sketches towards the end, but it was a completely enjoyable episode. I liked it a lot. I'll talk about it as Gothamist breaks it down. The monologue I thought was actually the low point. Key sang a song about crafting the perfect monologue, taking question from the audience. That was pretty funny. The audience member, spoilers, was asking a question that was really directed at Jordan Peele. That was pretty good. It was a song and dance number. It was okay. It was entertaining, if not funny. The sketch about going to the prom, I'm not sure Key was the best in the sketch, but some good bits there about teenagers at the prom. One of my favorites was The Last Dance extended scene. Key played Michael Jordan in it with a runaway gambling premise, really, really strong. But the best sketch of the night I think everyone will talk about was The Muppet Show. Melissa Villaseñor broke out a Lily Tomlin impression. Kyle Mooney voiced Kermit the Frog. Beck Bennett and Mikey Day were Statler and Waldorf, the old guys that heckle the show. So they were heckling Kermit. And Key and Kenan Thompson played bodyguards who wound up beating the hell out of Statler and Waldorf. Very, very funny sketch. Also pretty good was Beck Bennett playing Kentucky Derby horse trainer Bob Baffert. You know that guy. He showed up on SNL Weekend Update. That was pretty good. Kate McKinnon did Liz Cheney. I don't know what I thought a Liz Cheney impression was, but Kate McKinnon's Liz Cheney was wonderful. Now, the AV Club did not like the episode as much as I did, writing that Key has noted in the past that taking a guaranteed job offer on the LA-based SNL challenger Mad TV represented a pragmatic choice for a young Second City sketch performer, and he certainly made the most out of the opportunity, especially in his friendship and partnership with Jordan Peele. They go on to talk about how great Key and Peele was. I'm sure you know that. SNL, on the other hand, is all about templates. For better or worse, the show's rigidity when it comes to sketch variety as opposed to variety show sketches is what props this near half-century institution up. We didn't get a game show or a talk show sketch tonight, but the graduation and commencement sketches had plenty of tonal and structural antecedents, while the Broadway sketch once more planted Mikey Day in the wings to comment on the wacky and forgetful antics of old troopers Kate McKinnon, Cecily Strong, and Key, while shaking his head and protesting like the world's dullest substitute teacher. Yeah, that sketch was I might have fast-forwarded through that one, actually. The AV Club said, seriously, is Day writing himself these parts, or is this some sort of extended hazing? Yikes. Even Key's monologue, framed around the longtime fans' desire to do every single SNL thing tonight, felt threadbare. That I agree with. Well, I don't know. I enjoyed the heck out of the show. I might not even sound like it as I'm recapping, but I was on the couch, really dug it. And can I tell you, my wife's mad at me because I didn't watch the show with her. I came upstairs. Hey, how was Saturday Night Live? Oh, it was pretty good. Yeah, I would have watched it with you. And I got the silent treatment for the night and again this morning. What's going on? We have one more SNL this season. Anna Taylor-Joy will host musical guest Lil Nas X. All the enjoyment has been taken out of Saturday Night Live now, because now it'll be a thing. Are we watching it together? Are we not watching it together? Ugh. Dave Chappelle was on with Jimmy Fallon. He said, Twitter is a bathroom wall. Why would I write all my thoughts on the bathroom wall? Donald Trump, you heard that? And then he added, don't you cut that out in post, Jimmy. From Princeton.edu, Trevor Noah joined in Princeton University's commencement ceremonies. He was on Zoom or something like that from New York wearing his new Princeton hoodie. He was inducted as an honorary class member of the class of 2021. Congratulations, Trevor Noah. Trevor said he was always the class clown, but never the most popular kid, but he knew how to make everyone laugh. Bullies, jocks, nerds, teachers, and all. When he took that skill out into the world in his native South Africa, he immediately hit an obstacle. Because of apartheid, there was no comedy scene, and free speech was inhibited. Trevor said, I never dreamed of being a comedian, but that's when the calling hit me. After his first paid gig, he said, I knew I would be able to do what I love for a living. An international student from New Delhi asked Trevor, how do you navigate belongingness? Trevor said, home for me is where my people are, and what I've come to learn is my people can be anywhere. His friends from his childhood keep him centered. They remind me of who I am. They make me enjoy life with them. If you can find a group of people who you relate to, who make you aspire to be more, who challenge you, who help you enjoy life and help you through the tough times as well, I think you'll find a sense of belonging no matter where you are. Trevor said the first rule of comedy is to make people feel better, and that's just the beginning, saying, comedy for me has always been that place where we can talk about the uncomfortable truths. We can talk about racism while laughing with people. We can talk about misogyny while laughing with people. We can hopefully poke holes and reveal some of the light that comes through those holes while using comedy to lessen the burden that the audience is feeling about the pandemic. What is Trevor's greatest hope and biggest fear? Trevor started to talk about travel, saying travel will show you that the world is bigger than your world. When you travel, you start to realize that most of the rules we learn as human beings are just societal, structural ideas that have been imparted on us by our parents or forefathers. When you go somewhere else, they're like, no, we don't do that. I think that's humbling, and it's also informative because it tells you and it teaches you that the way you think the world is, it isn't. My greatest hope is we use this time, which is arguably one of the worst periods the world has been in recent history, to try and transform how we do things. He talked about the office. Do people need to be in the office 5 days a week? No. I think we've realized they don't need to be. If possible, people can work from home when they need to. It can be better for your mental health. Yep. It can be better for traffic on the roads. Yep. It can be better for parents who need to stay home and look after the kids when they're sick. Yep. I hope that in the future we apply these lessons exactly. I'm in podcasting. We've been doing these from home for over a year now. We don't need a big fancy studio, apparently, everybody. I'm in my basement right now in a t-shirt, a pair of shorts, got nice coffee. You know about those. It's great. Trevor's biggest fear is that the coronavirus, particularly in America, will merely become a blip on the radar. My fear is that instead of looking at this as a moment in time where humanity itself was tested and people were forced to think together and move together and be together, it will actually be seen as just another point of fragmentation where people can go off in their different directions and believe whatever they want to believe. I fear that many people will learn nothing from this experience. Boy, I really am running long today. Hey, did you vote for Comedy's Top Dog this week? We're picking between, would you rather watch Adam Sandler's movie Jack and Jill, Adam Sandler's movie Uncut Gems, or would you rather I just punch you in the face? Go to Instagram.com/dailycomedynews. I really want to know, Jack and Jill, Uncut Gems, or I just punch you in the face. Find the image of Rocky Balboa being punched in the face and Adam Sandler dressed as Jill and Adam Sandler in Uncut Gems. Find that image and comment below. There were some podcast awards. I'm not really excited about podcast awards. Sorry, just not. The nominees for Best Comedy Podcast included Culture Kings, Don't Ask Tig Notaro, Groceries, How Did This Get Made, The Breakfast Club, and Freedom. The winner was Conan O'Brien Needs a Friend. I've been on a Conan kick, so okay, Conan, congratulations on that. But on that, podcast awards don't really excite me. There were also the MTV Movie and TV Awards because apparently it is 1994. Sacha Baron Cohen was at those. He reprised some of his most iconic characters as he received the Comedic Genius Gong. He initially switched into Borat as he accepted the coveted award from Seth Rogen, saying, "Thank you, Prince Harry. I'm very excited to be on this brand new musical television channel. I'm very happy to be accepting this cup of gold teeth instead of Sacha Baron Cohen, and we'll put it in our national museum along with national treasure we have confiscated from yous." Then he switched into Ali G, saying, "We should be accepting this award, not you. I was the original gangster, the OG." Sacha then turned into himself, saying, "Thank you, MTV, to the millions of fans out there who voted for me. I salute you. This is yours. I'd be nothing without you. I'm so humbled by this. I'm just a human being creating complex, nuanced characters." Then Sacha was interrupted by Bruno, who is the fictional fashion reporter and another of the comedian's most famous creations, although I would put that like way below Borat and Ali G. Sacha then joked he was canceling himself. "I'm officially canceling myself. I was actually really looking forward to this after losing the Oscar. You can keep it." Speaking of Prince Harry, I just referenced Prince Harry. You're paying attention, right? Yeah? Okay. Prince Harry tells Joe Rogan to just stay out of it after Joe Rogan made some vaccine remarks. Prince Harry has spoken out against Joe Rogan's vaccine comments and has told his fellow Spotify host, "With a platform comes responsibility." Whoa. The Duke of Sussex was on Dax Shepard's podcast. Harry was the one that brought up the comment, not Dax, asking Dax, "What's your feelings about Joe Rogan's comments?" saying, "I think the issue in today's world with misinformation, just like endemic, you got to be careful about what comes out of your mouth when it comes to that, because news doesn't exist in just news anymore. It's splattered all over the place. So people are like, listen to Joe Rogan, and if he says that, then maybe I don't know what the rest of his thought is there." Everybody's mad at Harry over this interview. The royal family. Whew. Now, I mentioned in the past, I'm the writer on a podcast called Palace Intrigue. It's one heck of a week because of the Harry stuff. Harry went on Dax Shepard and kind of trashed the royal family again, so everyone's upset. So if you want a quick recap on that, follow Palace Intrigue wherever you get your podcasts. We do like 5 minutes a day on the royals, maybe a little longer this week because of Harry. And let's go out on this. Stay with me here. Before I even read the story, let me do a preamble. If you listen every day, hopefully you know that I come in peace. I'm just trying to have a good time. I'm not trying to be a jerk. And sometimes I ramp it up for comedic effect. The news story. CBS has started making decisions on its remaining pilots. This from The Hollywood Reporter. The network gave series orders to Pete Holmes' bowling comedy Smallwood. That's good. The Sophia Bush-led medical family drama Good Sam. Okay. They passed on some other things. One of the things they passed on, Sarah Cooper's How to Succeed. Now, you may expect me now to do some sort of victory dance. I'm not about that. My whole thing with Sarah Cooper was, yeah, she pantomimed to Donald Trump videos. They were fun. Great. From there, she got a Netflix special, and the Netflix special was not good. You saw it. It was not good. And then CBS gave her this sitcom, and it was like, what are we even doing? She pantomimed to Donald Trump videos. I'm sure she's wonderful, but how did that turn into a Netflix special, which wasn't good, which then turned into a CBS sitcom, which is now being passed on? So I'm not here to do some sort of victory dance. Just wanted to share with you Sarah Cooper's sitcom not picked up. For the podcast, it would have been better had it been picked up, because I would have just done my act after every episode of the show and just gone on about it. So Sarah Cooper's sitcom not picked up. That is your comedy news for today. You can follow this show on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Back tomorrow with a lot. As long as this episode is, I got a lot of leftovers for tomorrow. See you then.